working. So I cleaned a bunch of stuff off real quick, and we should be good to go. Except that I was not able to get all your stuff open yet, so bear with me 1 second, please. Oh, and I am gonna not forget today, the way I've been forgetting, to share desktop. There we go. Yay. Okay, and Camtasia is recording, and we're all ready. So yeah, now give me a second to get this other stuff open. Oh, and I have to re-download the PowerPoints. My other computer has started freezing for some reason. Just the cursor just freezes, and the keyboard. Can't do anything, it's still there. Whatever's running keeps running. So, c'est la folie, hein, c'est super divertissant, d'ailleurs, mais voilà. Y a un chat ici qui ne me laisse pas assez de place pour travailler. Voilà. Ok. Gris-gris, il faut pas que tu... Voilà. Pousse. Pousse-toi. Pousse. Pousse-toi. Pousse-toi. Un tout petit peu. Pousse-toi. Encore un tout petit peu. Voilà. Aïe! Maintenant, il est fâché. Maintenant, il m'attaque. Il m'a attaqué au bras, là. Ok, voilà. Alors, c'est le cirque ici. Alors, on va faire cette B. 1 et 2. Moi, j'étais en train de faire les téléchargements des présentations. Non, on veut le sauver, on veut le sauvegarder, je veux dire. Voilà. Et puis, il y avait un autre truc que je voulais ouvrir, c'est le VText. Très bien. Et puis là, j'arrive pas à voir la page parce qu'il y a le beau petit gris-gris qui est assis sur mon travail là. Voilà, 284. En fait, c'est pas 284, c'est un tout petit peu plus tard. On va voir. J'ai pas noté la page exacte. Voilà. Alors, le début de la vidéo ce soir, ça doit être super divertissant. Super amusant. Et voilà. Bon. Pousse-toi encore un tout petit peu. Hein? Oui, je sais que t'es fâché. Voilà. Oui, t'es fâché. Voilà. Alors, ce soir, on va regarder les adverbes et l'impératif. Et puis 3 nouveaux verbes qui sont pas super difficiles. We're going to look at adverbs tonight, also imperative or command form, and 3 new verbs. The new verbs are not going to be very complicated for you, except for just learning a bunch of new forms. So, voilà. Et en fait, il y avait un truc, encore un truc que je voulais chercher. Je l'ai déjà ouvert, non? Ah, j'ai pas encore ouvert. Ok. Alors... Parce que je sais qu'il y a des... Voilà, super. Ok. So, pour changer les idées, hein, on va pratiquer sur texte un tout petit peu ce soir. Voilà. Alors, comme vous êtes là sur la page 292, c'est ça? Oui, 292. Ils vont vous parler d'abord, je veux dire, des adverbes. First, we're going to look at adverbs. A lot of adverbs are simply made from adjectives. We do this in English too. We have words like complete, completely, right? Frank, frankly, honest, honestly, etc. Et c'est un peu la même chose en français. Il y a beaucoup d'adverbes qui sont créés par les noms auxquels ils appartiennent. Et a lot of them you can simply change to the feminine form of the adjective, and then add your ending, which is the counterpart to our ly, which is ment. Now, once in a while, you don't take it necessarily to the feminine. If you already have an adjective, I can't talk tonight. If you already have a vowel at the end of your adjective, then you don't have to take it to the feminine. So basically, you have to take it to a vowel form. And if there isn't one with the masculine version, then you need to grab the feminine version. The big exception to this is ANTs and ENTs. So let me pull up some stickies, comme d'habitude, non? On va voir ce qui est sur les... Ah, d'accord. Voilà, c'est très bien. So, most... Attends. Voilà. Most books like ours, including ours, will tell you to change ANTs to AMMENT and ENTs to EMMENT. D'accord? Personally, I think it's easier if you just tell yourself, if you see an ANT or ENT, change the NT to MMENT. And you don't have to worry about it. If there's an A there already, keep it. If there's an E there already, keep it. Okay? So virtually all of your adjectives that end in ANT or ENT are going to change to adverbs this way. So we had the examples I was giving you before. If you have an adjective that's comme rare, d'accord? We already have a vowel at the end of this, so when I change it to my adverb, I'm just going to add MENT, and I'm done, d'accord? If I have an adjective like blond, that's not going to make sense. This is where sometimes I should think of more examples before we dig in. Okay, comme, je sais pas, franc, d'accord? Franc. So it means the same thing in English, franc, d'accord? I don't have a vowel at the end of franc, so I'm going to change it to the feminine, and it works just like blanc, blanche, d'accord? And then I can add my MENT, okay? Now some adverbs, we're going to look at a few that do not change this way, that simply have entirely new words that you need to change to, but we'll look at those in a second. What we're going to look at regarding this stuff up here at the top is ANTs and ENTs. So if I have I'm trying to think of some that they don't have there. Ooh. They're using almost all of the ENTs already. ENTs and ANTs. Ouais, ben on va en prendre un que ils ont déjà mis là comme évident. Oh pardon. Ou bien constant. D'accord? Alors pour changer constant, you have an NT, so I'm just going to change it to MENT. D'accord? Même chose si c'est un ENT. D'accord? Oh, je voulais trouver un autre qu'ils n'ont pas mis là-dedans. Bon, patient, pourquoi pas. D'accord? Même qu'ils ont mis ça eux. Patiemment. D'accord? And one other note about these MMENTs is that in you guys know that before a nasal, these A's and E's are going to be A, right? En. D'accord? Alors, franc, franchement, constant, patient, etc. N'est-ce pas? Now, with these MMENTs, you're going to have a slight difference in pronunciation. Do you think of the word class? Alors, vous allez une classe, par exemple. Now, we tell you at the beginning of French to make all of your A's A, right? But little by little, you start to say this word a little bit differently. And we don't ever stress it too much because it actually happens kind of naturally. So that's the same thing that's going to happen with this. And this is basically what happens when you have an A in front of a double consonant. So the same thing that happens with classe, you don't say classe, right? You say classe. So, même chose avec constamment. You're going to hear a short A, d'accord? Constamment, constant, constamment. And, wackily enough, you're also going to hear a short A when you have an EMMENT. So you have words like patiemment. You're going to hear the short A, patiemment. And your examples that they have there in the V-text for you, différemment, évidemment, etc. D'accord? So just a little note about that. And that is pretty much it. In a minute in the PowerPoint, we'll look at the adverbs that don't have an MENT counterpart. And there will be a few like that, just like in English, where we have things like good. I can't say gooder, I'm going to say better, right? Or well, I can't say weller, I'm also going to say better. Or what am I'm thinking of? Oh, I'm thinking of comparative and superlative. I didn't mean to say it that way. What I meant to say was you have good and you can't say goodly, right? So you have to say well. D'accord? So there are a few like that. So we will look at those in the PowerPoint. Woohoo! C'est pas ça le PowerPoint. C'est pas encore ouvert. Où sont mes... Voilà. On va voir si ça s'ouvre. Parce que des fois... Voilà, très bien. J'aurais dû déjà... Je l'aurais déjà... J'aurais dû... je l'aurais dû déjà ouvert. J'aurais dû l'ouvrir déjà. Voilà. Wow. I'm having one of those days today. Il y a mon français qui est un peu franglais ce soir. Ça arrive des fois. Voilà. Alors, tu vas venir là? Petite présentation. Oh là là. Voilà. J'ai confiance. Voilà, très bien. Ok. Alors, je vais vérifier avec le petit... le truc à côté, hein, pour voir s'il y a quelqu'un. Non. Voilà. Alors, faites-moi signe si vous rejoignez la classe. Alors, adverbs. So adverbs, adjectives are going to describe people, places, or things. Nouns, basically. And then you have adverbs, which describe which describe adjectives. Maybe we should just start all over. You guys are going to misremember stuff because I keep saying stuff wrong. Adverbs, which describe adjectives and verbs. D'accord? And other adverbs. So if I want to say how an action is done, I'm going to use an adverb. If I want to say how beautiful something is, or how much we bought at the store, or whatever, I'm going to use adverbs. D'accord? To form an adverb from an adjective that ends in a consonant, take the feminine singular form and add ment. Now what I said basically was backwards from what they're saying, okay? Look at your adjective first. If you have a vowel, you're done. You're just going to add ment. If you don't have a vowel, then you're going to do this step. Okay, so you can look at it whichever direction you want. I find it's a little simpler to look at it the other way, because a lot of people will start just using the feminine all the time, regardless if they need to or not. So just be sure that you don't have a vowel before you go look for the feminine. And then they have your examples here that we had in the book also. Actif, ça devient active, et puis adverbe, activement. D'accord? Franc, franche, franchement. Oui? Heureux, heureuse, heureusement. Malheureux, malheureuse, malheureusement. D'accord? And it's kind of interesting. Sometimes the meaning will change a fair amount when you change it to an adverb. One of those is malheureux, malheureuse. Malheureux is an incredibly strong word. We usually will counsel you guys to say triste instead, for something that's sad or unhappy. Malheureux is a lot stronger than unhappy. Malheureux is like somebody's miserable. They're, I don't know, they're living through a famine or something. Like, that's how bad malheureux is. Or, their dad died or something like that. Whereas if you just need something for a certain situation, somebody is sad because of a certain situation that's passing, then you would just say triste, if it's something occasional. But when we change it to the adverb, malheureusement means unfortunately. D'accord? Same thing then with heureusement. So there is a difference between heureux and content also. Heureux is more long-lasting, it's more permanent than content. But it's not quite as big a difference as malheureux and triste. So that's just an aside. And when I change heureux to the adverb, it means fortunately. D'accord? Now these top two are maintaining their original meaning. Active, actively, frank, frankly, etc. D'accord? And all of these at the bottom, except for malheureusement, are basically keeping their same meaning. Dernier is a little bit different because dernier doesn't have anything to do with time on its own, but when you say the adverb, it means lately. D'accord? If the masculine has a vowel already, then you're going to go straight to your adverb form, ment. So you have a bunch of examples of this: absolu, absolument, vraiment, poliment, facilement, etc. D'accord? You have several adjectives that end in ile or ite or ide. Those are all just going to go straight to ment. D'accord? And none of these here on this page change meaning very much when you're changing it to the adverb. Now one here does, when I have évident, évidemment. Évident does mean that something's obvious, but it more often, I think the more default meaning is more that something's easy. And it doesn't really mean it's evident. So evident in English is not nearly as strong as évident in French. Évidemment means of course. Okay, so you can translate it as obviously, but it usually is stronger than that. Cricri, non, pousse-toi. Oh là là. T'arrêtes pas de. Oh, no. He just really wants to go lie down on the keyboard today. So, and he's really big, so it's hard to make him change his mind. Voilà. So, évidemment, very different than what you might expect. These others don't change their meaning too much, so we'll go on. The exception to the previous rule is lent, okay? Lent on its own, you're just going to add the feminine and change it to lentement, d'accord? So that's your only exception to constant, the ANTs and ENTs. Basically, it's anything that has more than one syllable that adds an ANT or ENT. Voila. Now you have some irregular adverbs. Like I said before, you don't say goodly, we say well, right? So to change bon to an adverb, you have a whole new word, bien. D'accord? Now most of these words you have seen. You may just not understand their connection to each other, okay? Gentil, I'm going to change it to gentiment. That one to me is simply an exception of our previous rule. You don't take it to the feminine, you just drop the L. That's just a weird one. It's not, to me, it's not technically a new word, but if it's easier for you to remember as a whole new word, then go for it. Mauvais, ça change en mal ou bien. Son adverbe est mal. Et puis petit, l'adverbe peu. D'accord? So look at these examples. These are great examples because they're really showing you how the adjective is used and then how the adverb needs to be used, right? We talked about être with adjectives way back when, and that être, 99% of the time, être's got adjectives with it because it's usually talking about how something is, right? It's usually describing things. So it might describe a location, or it's describing the appearance of something, or whatever. And être is usually a big marker for, oh, adjective, d'accord? But over here, son français est bon, il le parle bien. I have an action verb. I'm not going to be able to use an adjective with an action verb. Okay, so if I'm trying to modify a verb that isn't être, d'accord, I'm going to use an adverb. So il parle bien. And this is the counterpart. D'accord? And basically they're saying the same thing, right? But what it's doing is making our language a little more well-rounded. It's helping us put a little more variety in what we say. So I could say son français est bon, Or I could say il parle bien le français. Or I can say both and reiterate by using my adverb, right? Même chose ici, leurs devoirs sont mauvais. Ils écrivent mal. Okay? Basically, it's saying kind of the same thing, but I'm going into a little more detail with the second part. And again, it's making my language a little more flexible so that I can say more things. Although the adverb rapidement can be formed from the adjective rapide, you can also use vite. So a lot of you have seen this adverb before. I would say they're pretty much interchangeable. There's probably some subconscious choices that people make when they're deciding between vite and rapidement. Obviously, rapidement is more of a mouthful, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're not going to use it as often as vite. Mais voilà. Now, they say that you can use vite to say fast. I think you're better off if you think quickly. D'accord? It does mean fast, but we usually use fast as an adjective in English. D'accord? That's a fast car. Now I can say she ran fast. We do that all the time. Bearing in mind that I'm using fast a little bit incorrectly, but it's accepted nowadays in English to use it that way. So just bear that in mind, that vite is an adverb, not an adjective. So if the word fast is going to confuse you that way, then just think quickly. You've seen some of these time adverbs before. Jamais, parfois, rarement, souvent. Now you have a few more. De temps en temps, en général, quelquefois. D'accord? Alors, en général doesn't always have to do with time or frequency, right? It can mean kind of like normalement, right? So the others do all have to do with time, but en général is a little bit different. Voilà. And look at where they're placing these. Most of these are going to be placed at the beginning of the sentence or after your key phrase. D'accord? Now, shorter adverbs, we'll talk about order in a minute, but shorter adverbs go after the conjugated verb. And here's an example. Elle a couru vite. Oui. Il parle trop rapidement. Now here I have an adverb, and I have another adverb describing that adverb. Okay? And they're both going right after the conjugated verb. Okay? So place an adverb that modifies an adjective or another adverb in front of the word it modifies. Okay, now this is just like English. It should be really easy to remember this. I'm going to put it in front of whatever it's describing if it's describing an adjective or another adverb. So that's what we just had back here. Il parle trop rapidement. Trop is going in front of rapidement because it is describing rapidement. Okay, he speaks quickly. He speaks too quickly. How quickly does he speak? Too quickly. Okay? So trop is describing rapidement. Same thing over here. Assez grande. La chambre est grande. Ah bon? How big is it? Assez grande. D'accord? Il court vite. Ah bon? Très vite. Okay? Elle parle bien le français. If I'm talking about a verb, it's going right after the conjugated verb. Okay? Elle parle bien le français. Il parle constamment. D'accord? Now, constamment, you could put at the end of the idea if you had more stuff going on here. But it's more natural, even with these ones that look a little bit longer with the amant, to go ahead and put them right after the verb. Now, if I had a negative here, the negative would take precedence. So, for example, negative is going to be more important than the other stuff, and the negative is going to stick around its verb just like it always has. So if I say, bon, parle-t-il rapidement? Non, il ne parle pas rapidement. D'accord? Let me stretch this so it makes more sense. Voilà. So here I have rapidement after my verb, right? My verb happens to be negative, and look at what's happening with the negation. The negation takes precedence over the other adverb. Okay? So go ahead and put your negation around the verb, then put any other adverbs you're going to be using. D'accord? In passé composé, normally short adverbs are going to go after the past participle. I mean, after the conjugated verb. So just like we just said, d'accord? So back here, we're saying put it right after the conjugated verb, right after the conjugated verb. Same thing here, if it's a shorter adverb. So, ils sont vite partis. Vous avez bien joué hier, d'accord? Right after the conjugated verb, okay? And what I would tell myself, again, just like we did with the pronouns, is to think of it not as before the past participle, but after the conjugated verb. D'accord? After the conjugated verb, after the conjugated verb. If you have a slightly longer one, they're going to go after the entire verb phrase. Okay? So after the past participle. Elle a parlé franchement, ils ont gagné facilement. Et voilà. Alors, on va pratiquer un tout petit peu. On va reprendre le V-text. D'abord, on va regarder un peu de formation. So we're going to practice forming some of these. And if you need to, pause and go review for a couple minutes before we do it. And if not, then just jump in with us here. So basically they're giving you the adjective, we're changing it to the adverb. So remember what we said. I'm going to pull this up a little bit. ANT or ENT changes to MMENT, right? If I have an vowel already on my masculine, I can just go straight into MENT. If I don't, I'm changing it to the feminine, and I'm adding MENT, with the exception of ANTs and ENTs, right? And we had the one exception to this. I'm going to go ahead and take this class thing over there. The exception to that being long, right? D'accord? Long goes to the feminine. D'accord. Then we had examples of ones that need entirely new words, right? So, ouais, ben, I'm going to do that up here too. So, bon, bien, oh, mauvais, mal, etc. D'accord? Okay. Sérieux. So think about your rules. Sérieux. Now you don't hear a vowel here, but is that a vowel? I mean, you don't hear a consonant, but is that a vowel? No. I still have to change it to my feminine, even though I don't hear anything. Alors, quel est le féminin pour sérieux? Sérieusement. D'accord? Séparé. J'ai déjà une voyelle, n'est-ce pas? Alors, MENT. D'accord? Already have a vowel, MENT right into it. Constant. N'est-ce pas? Ça change en deuxième MENT. Mauvais. Be careful with this one. Alors celui-là, on va pas mettre MENT, on va changer totalement, n'est-ce pas? Mal. Okay? So that's the difference between bad and badly. D'accord? Even though we form it off the same word, but in French we're not going to do that. Actif. Activement. D'accord? Impatient. Oh! Impatient. Je suis impatiente, moi. Alors voilà. Deuxième ENT, n'est-ce pas? Bon. Now, nobody should struggle with this one. I mean, honestly. At this point, the counterpart for this in the adverb form should really just be rolling off your tongue. Bien. Oh! Sauf que j'ai mal écrit. Voilà. Franc. The same thing. I'm not hearing a consonant, but I have a consonant there. On va le changer au féminin. Alors, franchement. D'accord? Difficile. Vous avez une voyelle, alors difficilement. Oh, voilà. Difficilement. Vrai. Alors, j'ai déjà une voyelle. Pardon, je baille encore. Last week, did you guys notice? I didn't yawn almost at all. Although I yawned all the way through the 2001. But I was very proud of myself. I didn't yawn at all during you guys's. It's not boredom or sleepiness. It's when I speak a lot. For some reason, it makes me yawn like crazy. It used to happen in the classroom too, kind of wacky. Everybody got used to it, whatever. Gentil. This one's our another exception, right? So you can think of it as a whole new word, or you can think of it as one where you're not going to take it to the feminine, you're simply going to drop something. Gentiment. D'accord? Voilà. Il n'y a rien de plus simple. Bon, quand même, il y a des choses qui sont plus simples, mais voilà. Ah, c'est l'expression, vous voyez. Alors, voilà. Très bien. Oui. Il nous demande à chaque fois, n'est-ce pas? On va continuer à pratiquer un tout petit peu avec les adverbes. Ici, vous allez me donner les contraires. Quelle heure il est là? Oh, faut qu'on court un tout petit peu. Hein. Je voulais qu'on fasse 1 et 2. Ou bien non, 1 et 3. Ben, faisons 3. Ok? Ah, I just used something from our next grammar point. Ha ha. Alors, l'impératif. Ici, on le fait comment? Décrivez comment Gilles et ses amis font ces actions. Employez l'adverbe logique correspondant à un des adjectifs. D'accord? So, in this one, and the reason I wanted to do this is because I'm thinking about an activity similar to this for the final to deal with this, to deal with adverbs. So it's a good thing to get used to. So not only do you need to know how to form your adverb or how to find the adjective's counterpart, but you need to know what they mean. Okay, so it's not just formation now. This time you're going to choose the one that's more logical, make an adverb out of it, or grab its counterpart adverb and insert it in the sentence depending on where you need to insert it order-wise. D'accord? Alors, ici, in fact, I don't know if it just wants us to put the adverb or not, but we're going to practice with the whole sentence just so we can really practice order and everything. Alors, Marc et Marie dessinent. Alors, bon ou gentil? Pour que ça soit plus logique, hein? Now, if you're thinking nicely, this is not that kind of nicely. D'accord. So gentiment is nice, you're right. But when we say that somebody does something nicely, it's usually, oh, he really, did that dive nicely. He's not being nice to anybody, he's doing it well, right? So, Marc et Marie dessinent. You can't use gentiment that way. I'll just go ahead and tell you. So I'm going to use bon. What's my counterpart for bon? Bien. D'accord? J'attends mon ami. So what did we say about most of the adverbs when you're talking about present tense? Most of the time they're going to go straight after the conjugated verb, except for those time adverbs. So, tu vas attendre rapidement ou impatiemment? Lequel est plus logique? Impatiemment, hein? So pause it if you need to, because we're going to continue at a pretty good clip here so that we can get through everything. So pause it before I tell you the answer. Ousmane court. Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire court? Courir? Vous savez? To run, n'est-ce pas? Alors? Lequel est plus logique, fréquent ou intelligent? Fréquemment, n'est-ce pas? Now, if he was doing a race right now, a race where you have to be really strategic or something, you might say he ran it intelligently, right? If he was being really careful about who he was passing when so he could conserve energy and all that stuff and get to the, finish line first or whatever, then, ça pourrait être intelligemment quand même. Mais sans contexte, je dirais que fréquemment est plus logique. Hein? Tu conduis ta voiture. Right after the conjugated verb, like usual. Alors, fort ou prudent? Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire prudent? C'est la même chose en anglais, hein? So prudent, what's another way of saying that? Carefully, astutely, voilà. Alors, prudemment, voilà. Salima écoute le prof. Oh là là, Suzanne. Salima. Écoute. Alors, courant ou attentif? Attentif, n'est-ce pas? Attentivement. Très bien. Voilà. Ok? Il faut les pratiquer. Il faut savoir ce que ça veut dire. D'accord? Et puis, il faut savoir où les mettre dans la phrase. Ok? So, all three of those things. Learning what they mean, learning how to make them into an adverb, or learning what their counterpart adverb is, and then learning where to put them in the sentence. And the best way, just like I always say, beyond WebSound, WebSound is a great place to start. Then anytime you have time to go ahead and make some original sentences with some of this stuff, do so. Because it's only by using and hearing these adverbs in the correct spot that what will happen is you'll just start using them that way instead of having to stop and think, oh, after the conjugated verb every single time. So anytime that you can stop and actually create with the language, that's where you're going to clinch it the best. Ok? Deuxième chose, on va regarder l'impératif et quelques nouveaux verbes. Voilà. Alors, l'impératif, when you think of, on va reprendre à nouveau, hein. Voilà. Et je vais faire que ça soit plus grand. Voilà. Oh, voilà. Ok. Imperative is the command form, and the same people are referred to with French imperatives that are referred to with English imperatives. Okay? And the same thing happens. We simply drop the subject, right? So a couple of things happen. One thing is, okay? One thing is that you're always referring to tu, vous, or nous. D'accord? Nous includes the speaker. We don't think of that as being a command, but when I say, let's go to the zoo, or hey, let's go eat lunch, or whatever, it's actually a command form. Okay? So that's why we're going ahead and including it here. It's not going to be quite as strong necessarily as tu and vous. Tu and vous are going to be more, or can be, actually more commandy, for lack of a better word. But they can also be suggestions, like we say to our friends or something. Oh, go to the bookstore, they have it cheaper. Or, don't study, let's go eat, or whatever. That's a really bad example. Voilà. So they can be actual hardcore commands, or they can be, things that we just tell people nicely, even though it's command form. So tu, nous, and vous are the same people that we refer to in English with commands. I can talk to a group. I can tell a whole group to do something. You guys better study those adverbs right now, and I mean it. Tu, I can talk to a specific person. D'accord? Study your adverbs. And nous, hey, let's all go study our adverbs. Très bien. Alors, deuxièmement, il n'y a pas de sujet. No subject. Drop the subject. Okay? So, just like in English, instead of saying, you eat your beans, which sometimes somebody will say that, but normally we say eat your beans, right? And if I'm putting that subject on there, it's really for emphasis. Alors, c'est la même chose en français. Je vais dire mange des haricots. Hein? Ou étudier les adverbes, par exemple, ou quoi que ce soit. Okay? So, no subject. And same thing for the new form. Allons au cinéma, par exemple. Ok? Troisièmement, vous avez quelques irréguliers. Some irregulars. Yay! Oh. D'accord? And we will look at those. And the non-irregulars, there's one interesting thing that happens. With ERs, to take off the S. Okay? That's supposed to be a minus. How did I get it to do a minus? Oh, it doesn't do that thing. Okay, we'll just say drop the S. Form, drop the S. Okay? So we have things like, par exemple, au lieu de... Bah, normalement, tu dis tu manges, oui, mais pour l'impératif, mange. Oh, pardon. D'accord? Normalement, tu as, par exemple, je sais pas, étudie, tu étudies. D'accord? Et ça change en étudie. And really, I should capitalize these because it makes it easier to remember that it's command and nothing else is coming with it. Voilà, étudie. D'accord? Et puis, voilà, ben, ça suffit, hein. Ça suffit pour les exemples. So, two form of ERs, drop the S, okay? And, oh, actually, two form of aller. You also drop the S. And aller. Okay? So, I'm going to put the S back on sometimes. But normally, my spacebar doesn't want to move on the post-it by itself there. Okay. Normalement, tu dis tu vas au je sais pas quoi, n'est-ce pas? Tandis que ici, vous allez faire va. Okay. Now, if I want to tell somebody, oh, go ahead, or you're going to the supermarket, go there. D'accord? So that I'm using E, which we'll be looking at soon. We'll be looking at it again soon, I should say. If we're using that, then I still need my S for liaison, in which case it comes back. Vas-y. Okay? And if I had something else afterwards, I can't think of any other. That's usually the best example for that. So, ERs and aller on the to form, drop the S. D'accord? And that is pretty much it, except for the irregulars. D'accord? You're dropping the subject. We have some irregulars. Using just these three forms, those are the only three people that imperatives can talk to. Some are irregular, we're going to look at those. And ERs and aller. D'accord? Alors, pour les irréguliers, I don't really think we need to watch the PowerPoint for this, because we're going to practice on text with this as well. So, or no, we're going to practice with lire, dire, écrire. Attendez, je vais faire que ça soit plus grand. Voilà. Oh, il veut pas traîner là. Voilà. Alors, here are your main imperative irregulars. Okay? For the most part, for now at least, just worry about avoir and être. As you get more and more verbs, what they're going to start showing you is if there's an irregular form for the imperative, they'll show it to you when you learn the new verb. Okay? So here I have avoir, et, ayons, ayez, être, soit, soyons, soyez. D'accord? Don't forget that I said on text you can hit those sound bites if you need to kind of remind yourself how to say something. Don't spend too much time on those. It's really going to stick better if you're listening to it a fair amount. And practicing them in sentences and stuff is really what you need to do the most anyway. So here's some examples. Aie confiance, n'ayons pas peur, soyons optimistes, ne sois pas impatient, etc. D'accord? Now we already talked about imperatives with your indirect and direct object pronouns way back when. And it's on my stickies on the other computer, so I can't pull it up right now. But remember, the first thing I said was to look and see if it's an imperative. D'accord? If it's a negative imperative, you follow the same rules as what we said before. Put the pronoun in front of the conjugated verb. D'accord? Ne me montre pas les réponses. Me, directly in front of the conjugated verb. And it takes precedence over the negative. D'accord? Once I have this pronoun there, I'm going to keep it there forever. Okay? If it is an affirmative command, that is, you're telling somebody to do something rather than not to do something, you're going to put it at the end with a hyphen. D'accord? Permettez-moi, utilise-le, mangeons, fais-les, je sais pas quoi, etc., etc., n'est-ce pas? If me and te are your pronouns, you're going to change them to the emphatic version, moi and toi. D'accord? And those are just way stronger than me and te. Okay? Permettez-moi, lève-toi, etc. D'accord? Voilà. So, we're going to go ahead and practice a little bit of this before we look at lire, dire, écrire. Et ce que vous avez, c'est la mise en pratique. And these are really good because they're kind of putting you into the situation, right? So, dites à votre petite sœur de nananana. Whatever they're telling you to tell your sister to do is what you're going to put into the imperative, right? So, somebody's coming up to you and they say, hey, tell your little sister to clean her room. Nettoyer sa chambre. Nettoie ta chambre. I'm changing it to the imperative, dropping my S because it's a tu, and I'm changing anything else that might need to be changed. Ça needs to change to ta because of my speaking to tu now. Okay, so I'm changing all of this for the person I'm speaking to. Même chose ici, dites à votre petite sœur d'aller à l'école. So stop and think of what your form is for aller. And you can start with your normal form if you want and then take it in steps. So you know your normal form is va. And then you remember, oh right, Madame Clay said that on ERs and aller we drop the S for tu. So, I'm going to drop my S. Et puis, va à l'école. D'accord? Voilà. De ne pas regarder la télé. So, I've mentioned this in passing a few times, that ne pas in front of an infinitive makes it negative. D'accord? Alors ici, I'm not telling her to do something, I'm telling her not to do something. So I'm still going to put my negative where I always do, around the conjugative verb. Ce qui me donne quoi? Je vais vous aider avec le début. Alors, ne regarde. And again, if you want to start with the whole tu form and then stop and clean it up, or without adding it again, you may. Et puis la deuxième partie de la négation, pas la té. Oh. Oh. No, I don't want to save it to Evernote, but that's the only way to get it out of the way, so that's okay. Voilà. D'accord? De vous attendre. Now, be careful with this one. Somebody's coming up to you and they're saying, dites à votre petite sœur. So they're using vous with you, right? And this is actually an imperative too, right? De vous attendre. So we're changing this for the speaker, okay? Qu'est-ce que vous allez me donner? So attendre in the tu form. I don't drop the S on REs. And how many want to do vous? I know you do. I know there's somebody there that wants to use vous. You're not going to use vous because now the vous, who is the vous? Somebody's coming up to you and saying, tell your little sister to wait for vous, you. D'accord? So when you turn to your little sister, this whole relationship gets torqued, right? So that now it's just first person, second person. And you're not going to use vous anymore because vous was you when the other guy was talking to you. Okay? Attends-moi. D'accord? Everybody see that? So stop and really think about what's happening in this situation. A third party is coming and asking you to tell her something, to tell your little sister something, right? And when you turn to her, you have to make it match the new situation. D'accord? Now it's just you and her talking, so attends-moi. You're not going to be able to use vous, because that's not going to make sense. De vous attendre. D'accord? Attends-moi. So you really have to envision these little situations. Dites à vos camarades de chambre, alors ici, qu'est-ce que vous allez donner? Ici, on était en train de faire tu, oui? Tandis qu'ici, on va mettre les formes pour vous. à chaque fois. Ok? Alors, dites à vos camarades de chambre de ne pas mettre la radio. Alors, ne. Who am I speaking to? Vous, d'accord? What's my vous form for mettre? Ne mettez pas la radio. D'accord? D'être gentil. Here's an irregular. So look it up if you need to. Stop and pause the video. Encore, c'est la forme pour vous dont on a besoin. Alors, soyez gentil. D'accord? De réfléchir avant de parler. Alors, standard IR, which is wacky because the standard IRs are actually a little wackier than some of the non-standard IRs, right? But voilà. Alors, oh, qu'est-ce que je fais? Voilà. If you don't remember that, you need to go back and look at all those verbs, okay, all of your standard IRs. And since we're at this new juncture with these imperatives, and since, as you see, you really need to know all of your previous verb forms, it would be a good idea to go back and just kind of skim through all the different kinds of verbs we've had and take note of your forms, especially for tu, nous, and vous, right? So that you're ready for the rest of this. Pardon. Alors, réfléchissez avant de... How many people want to conjugate this? It's okay if you do, but you shouldn't. So, parler. I don't have a new subject here, right? That's my main cue, usually, that I need to conjugate something, is that I have a subject. Now, we don't have a subject with these imperatives either. But the fact that I have a prepositional phrase means I can just go straight into my infinitive. Réfléchissez avant de parler. Okay? And in this case, in English, we would use a gerund, we would use an ing form. So, you guys should think before you speak, or before speaking, right? Mais ici, c'est l'infinitif. D'accord? Voilà. Alors, il est 7h30. Nous, on va regarder les autres verbes vite fait, et puis on va pratiquer chez Tex. Oh! Je voulais pas faire ça en fait. Bon ben, let's just look at Tex then, because Tex has the descriptions for the verbs as well. So this is a lot like what you have in your book for these three verbs. These three verbs are always done together, which is a little misleading because you have a few differences here and there, so be careful. But there are only a couple things I have to say about these. One thing is that they are used exactly the same as their English counterparts. There are no surprises about how to use these verbs. The same exact way I use say in English, I'm going to use dire. Same exact way I use lire, etc. D'accord? Even somewhat figurative ways of using say or dire. So, like they have here, dire means to say, as in, what does that mean, right? How do you say such and such? Or what does this say? D'accord? Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire? D'accord? So that one's kind of figurative, and it still works in both languages. So that's what I mean, is there won't be any surprises with these. They don't need any wacky prepositions. They are all going to take avoir in the passé composé, etc., etc. D'accord? The hard thing is going to be the forms. Okay? So really look at these patterns and notice which things change and which things stay the same. So you have the same form basically for the singulars, right? SST, 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 and you've had that for a lot of other things. You stop and think about it. Then I have some pretty big differences with my plurals. Nous disons, vous dites, ils disent, lisons, lisez, lisent, écrivons, écrivez, écrivent. D'accord? And you have some other verbs that are translated like these, conduire, etc. Okay, so if they give you extra verbs on this that maybe they didn't have in the book, you can go ahead and try them. If they just look too different and you know that we don't need them for our unit, then just ignore them. Don't let them freak you out, okay? On va commencer. Je vais faire que ça soit plus grand, hein. Oh, usually I can make that bigger. Oh, that's really weird. I'll just have to use the real zoom. I like using the little buttons to make things zoom. Hey, it wouldn't work. Oh, I must have not been hitting it right. Ok, bon bah. Bon, c'est pas grave. C'est pas grave. On a réussi. Voilà. So again, pause if you need to before we go through these. If you need to look in your book to get the forms. I'm not going to go back and forth on here, so I'm going to assume that you have your vText handy or your book or something, and you're checking the forms as we go. Alors, est-ce que tu lis le Daily Texan? Who are they speaking to? Tu. Oui. Qu'est-ce que vous dites? D'accord? Bête. So, écrire and décrire work exactly the same way, so don't be nervous about it. What did we just say? SST, right? Édouard lit un journal parisien. Joe, Bob et Cory ne lisent. Oh, c'est pas nécessaire en fait que je mette le ne. Ne lisent rien. D'accord? Beth et Tammy disent. Oh, pardon. Au revoir à Tex. Tex et moi, nous écrivons des cartes postales. Now, this is a pronominal. Oh, wait a minute. We haven't had pronominals yet. We're gonna, reflexive. We are gonna skip that one. Conduire. So if you want to, you can do the conduire ones. If not, it's just like, oh, weird. I didn't need to know that for our unit. So you can skip it. That's totally fine. Those of you who want to go ahead and do it, conduire. D'accord? Qu'est-ce que tu aimes? This one's a slight trick question. What have I been saying about how many conjugated verbs you need per idea? 1, right? Is this one conjugated? Yes. And it's a verb of preference, which way back when we learned are used with what? Infinitives. Lire. Qu'est-ce que tu aimes lire? So I have one conjugated verb per idea. The other verb is always going to be something else. Infinitive, past participle, whatever. D'accord? But one conjugated verb. Fiona ne dit pas beaucoup. Non 12. J'écris des messages électroniques. D'accord? So for those overachievers out there, if you want to, you can go ahead and look at this one. Those of you who don't want to look at it, don't look at it. You don't need to look at it. If you've already seen pronominals or reflexive verbs, then this one's going to change to me. And I have a vowel coming, so I'm going to use my apostrophe, right? But it would normally be me at all. Et puis, this inscrire is conjugated exactly like écrire. Alors, je m'inscris au club français. I sign up. I'm signing up for the French club. D'accord? Or enrolling in it or something. D'accord. Voilà. Alors ça vous donne une petite idée. Il y a un exercice très bon ici. They don't do this very often, but when they do, it's pretty cool, and it's a lot of the time it's helping you kind of differentiate between two different forms of the same thing or whatever. So with this one, if you want to find this link, I'll link it on the module. Go down to the bottom of this page and you can play the soundbite and figure out if it's plural or singular. Okay, so let's go ahead and do one.
Elle dit toujours la vérité.
D'accord, encore une fois.
Elle dit toujours la vérité.
Troisième fois ou non? Au cas où?
Elle dit toujours la vérité.
D'accord. So think of dire, that's what they're using, right? And you're going to hear what if you're talking about dire? I'm going to hear the S, right? Elles disent. Alors nous, on n'avait pas ça, oui? C'est toujours là? Oh, I closed it. What a dorkhead. Elle dit. D'accord? Numéro 2. We'll just do a couple so you can get the idea.
Elles écrivent des rédactions. Elles écrivent des rédactions.
So there are 2 clues here. They're telling me.
Elles écrivent des rédactions.
D'accord? So what are my 2 clues? N'est-ce pas? Ici, on n'entend rien, n'est-ce pas? Elle écrit. Oui. Ici, pousse-toi. Ici, vous avez la liaison. Elles écrivent. Oui. Ici. D'accord. Et vous entendez aussi le V. Oui. D'accord? Elles écrivent. Oui. Alors, c'est pluriel. Voilà. Alors, c'est très bien. C'est tout pour ce soir. Je vais continuer à corriger ce soir. J'espère tout finir. Et bon, je compte tout finir, quasiment tout. Et puis, voilà. Faites-moi signe si vous avez des questions quelconques. Et puis, aussi, je sais pas, trying to put significant amount more French into our class sessions. You should basically know where we are and everything. If something's super crucial, like when we're looking at the actual explanations of the grammar point or something, then obviously I said a lot in English too. But I really want to get as much more French into these as possible as the semester proceeds, so that you guys are as ready as possible for 2001, those of you who need to go on to do that. So anytime you have a question, there's something I say a lot. You know, there are a lot of little fillers that I tend to say, just like we do in English. If you're curious about any of those and you want to just, you know, hey, what does it mean when you're always saying such and such? Don't hesitate to email me or something, and I can tell you. And I do a lot of just kind of babbling when I do that. So if it's something that I want you to really pay attention to, I'm going to make sure that you know that it's something you need to really pay attention to. I'm either going to repeat it in English or I'm going to say it, you know, a little more emphatically or whatever. But vous allez voir comment ça marche pour vous-même, comme individu, n'est-ce pas? Voilà. Bon. Bonne soirée. Salut! J'ai fermé tous les trucs qui sont en train d'enregistrer. Attends. Alors déjà, il y a ça. On va s'arrêter le partage. On va arrêter le partage plutôt. Il y a mon français ce soir qui est un peu... je sais pas quoi. Et voilà. Oui. Et puis on va s'arrêter Camtasia aussi.